You've tamed the voices in your head. You've put your courage to the test. Laid all your doubts to rest.
Hi everyone, and welcome from your Intuition Queen to a new episode of Intuitive Queens podcast. How are you all doing? We are at the beginning of the year. We are at the middle of January, and I personally feel the energy is really high and really strong. So I just had a workshop about love and about intuition a couple of days ago. And since this year is the year of relationships, as you probably know, numerology says this is a number 6 year, which means it's all about relationship. And we're going to have a lot of transits that will help us to either release some relationships that no longer serve us, or to meet new relationships, to improve the relationships that we have. Everything is for our good. And so all the changes that are happening right now are there for us so that we can move forward in a more aligned way with ourselves and with our relationships. And so today I want to talk to you about love and relationships and what colors they're related to and how to use them. Right. So relationships are all kind, not just romantic relationship. We have relationship since the beginning, since the moment we're born, because we have relationship with our family, and then we start to get relationship with friends, and as we move through life, it starts to be with co-workers and any other kind of relationships until we get to romantic relationships. And this is something that I know for a lot of people it's very important, but it's also what causes us a lot of pain, because loving someone deeply, it's really important, but can also be very painful. And we often get a lot of situations where even if we love someone, that could be a friend or a family member or a love partner or whatever other kind of relationship we might have, there might be some issues there. Or it might be issues with the people we're dealing with. We might feel something that it's not right. And what it's important to know, what I always say to my clients, is that the relationships that we have with other people, it's actually a reflection of us, of our energy, of the relationship we have with our own self. On Sunday, I had this workshop. It was my first in-person workshop with 10 people since, 2 years from, when the pandemic started. And we were talking about wanting to find a way to approach relationship in a more healthy way, because for a lot of people, love relationships especially can be painful, can end in a painful way, and then we start to get into ourselves, we start to take care of ourselves, but then we take too much care of ourselves, and then we don't want to get out of our comfort zone, and it becomes a little bit complicated to get out and meet new people and allow ourselves to understand what we want, what we don't want in a romantic relationship. And so oftentimes, for fear of maybe repeating the same mistakes or finding the same kind of person, we just keep going by ourselves. And so, relationships are really complicated because we all have our own wounds and our own traumas, and we carry them on, and oftentimes we project them to other people. And if the other person is not healed, is not able to see what's going on, then that's when all the problems starts to happen. And I always say to everyone that the most important relationship that you have is the one with yourself, but you have to heal yourself. You have to heal your wounds, your traumas. And when I say traumas, I don't necessarily mean something crazy happening, but you probably know that as children we absorb a lot of situations, and we kind of make up our own behavior. And so we decide that maybe, I don't know, our parents don't love us because they're arguing with each other all the times, or other situations where at some point, in order for you to feel safe, you start to close up, or you stop shining bright as you used to, because maybe, you know, that creates too much friction in your home. And all of those behavior keep going on, keep repeating with all the relationships that we find in our lives. And so oftentimes when I work with my clients, either on a business situation or in a love situation, what I try to do is to help them to see the patterns and where does that come from. And the reason why I think this is such an important thing to do, and working on your inner child is extremely, extremely important, is because otherwise we keep on repeating situations that are there for us to understand that we need to do some work on ourselves. Last year for me was a major year of doing inner child healing. And I told you this before. I moved back to Italy and I stayed with my mom. And that brought up a lot of issues that we often had before. But since I wasn't there, obviously, I didn't see it until I actually had to face them. And if you look back at your life, I'm pretty sure you can see a lot of the things that might holding you back. But what is important to understand is that all of our relationships are there as a mirror for us. Every person that we meet is there to show us something that we either need to heal, or something that we need to do more of. Because, you know, when you have people that love you and support you, they want you to be at your best. They want you to be your best self. And so when you're supported, you feel great. But then there are also situations where you have people that don't necessarily support you, or they support you halfway. And that is there for you to understand what is that part of yourself inside of you that needs healing. And I talked about it on Sunday in the workshop, that we often, you know, think that things outside of ourselves will make us happy. People, a love partner, a friend, someone else will give us the love that we don't feel we have for ourselves, or we don't feel we had for growing up. Or if you've been single for a long time, you feel you no longer know what love is. But the thing is that what is missing within you, what you feel is missing in your life, it's missing in the relationship that you have with you. That is the most important relationship. And when you start to understand exactly what that is, or what kind of energies are still playing up in your life that maybe are subconscious and you're not aware. There was a person in the workshop that talked about betrayal. And betrayal is something that we all experience at a certain point. I experienced quite a few betrayal, especially in friendships. And those can be really, really difficult to go through and to overcome, because you feel like, wait, I am being a good person. Can you not just talk to me? Or, you know, what is the need there? But oftentimes, someone betraying us, of course, says a lot about their trauma and not our trauma, but the way we respond to that says a lot about our trauma. And one of the things that I often find when I work with clients that want to work on love is the inability or the struggle in detaching yourself from someone that either hurt you or that you know it's not good for you. Maybe the person that hurt you made you want to end the relationship, or the person hurt you because ended the relationship, or you decided to end the relationship because you realized the person wasn't good for you. Whichever way, we then still get so attached, and we start to miss that person that we want to go back, and sometimes we do go back. And the reason for this is mainly because we are unable to figure out what is that part of ourselves that craves that part of love. What is that part of ourselves that needs to be seen, that needs to be loved, that needs to be released. Also, there are so many energies that we carry on from, I don't know, for example, seeing our parents dealing with each other, seeing our parents dealing with us, anybody else in our family. And we carry this on. We carry this on until we figure out what is our way of communicating love, what is our way of loving. And if you haven't healed yourself on that level, then it is very likely you're going to look for something outside of yourself. And maybe that is because you grew up in a codependent environment, and so you thought that in order for you to get love, you had to do something. So it is not something that is natural. Love becomes something that you maybe need to gain, you need to earn in with doing something. It becomes conditional, and when it's conditional, then it's difficult to find a way to love ourselves. So this podcast episode is for you to understand that everything that you want and everything that you're looking in any kind of relationship, could be a friendship, could be a loving relationship, a work relationship, is within you. And if you're not able to find out what is it that you're craving and what is it that you want, how can you give that to yourself, well, that is when there are the problems, because we keep wanting to look for those other things, or people to come and save us, people to come and rescue us from I don't know, maybe feeling lonely, from feeling betrayed, from feeling not good enough. And we think that someone else can actually make us happy. But there is something that Will Smith says quite a lot every time they interview him about his relationship with his wife. And he always talks about a point in time in their relationship where they both realized they were unhappy. And it wasn't because they weren't loving each other, but for whatever reason, they were just unhappy. And they took a break, and he says, you have to make yourself happy, because I cannot make you happy. And only when you can make yourself happy, then we can come together and we can make each other happy. And I completely agree with that. But unfortunately, we grew up thinking that, you meet the other person and your life is going to change, it's going to be amazing. And maybe it is, because love, it's beautiful. When you meet someone that shows you love and appreciation and support, it's so beautiful. But the problem is that way too often we just rely so much on this person and we lose ourselves. So another topic that came up on the workshop on Sunday was that too often, especially people that haven't had a relationship for a long time, don't want to, first of all, become very guarded about any other person that might approach them, or any person they would like to approach, because they are afraid to lose themselves. And I completely understand this feeling, because this has been a fear that I had for a long time. And that's why people start to get very busy with work or with something else, so then you can distract yourself and you can do some other stuff and you don't have to think about it. But the only reason why we are afraid to lose ourselves is mainly because we don't trust ourselves. And that goes back to, again, learning to love yourself and learning to give to yourself what you think someone else could give to you. Because only in that moment, when you truly and love and accept yourself as you are, at that point, you're able to enter any kind of relationship knowing that at some point you'll be able to make the right decision. Because the problem is that way too often we have an idea in mind of the person we would like to be with. And we're not really sure, though, what are the things of that person that are really, really important for us, and what are the things that are not important for us and that we don't want from the other person. And so when those things are not clear, it's very difficult to make a decision. And oftentimes we just forget that maybe, I don't know, for example, we want someone that has a positive attitude to life. And we might feel a good feeling and go with someone that has a really negative attitude to life. I'm just making a very simple example for all of you. But also what came through from the workshop is, you start to go into a relationship and then you figure out that the other person is not exactly what you were expecting or not exactly what you saw in the first place. So how do you know you should go ahead? How can you see that before, right? Because we kind of want to make sure to make the right decisions. And the thing is that, again, when you know exactly what you want and exactly what you don't want, then you're able to respond and you're able to stand your ground. You're able to be like, okay, I am going to give this person a chance, knowing that if along the lines the situation doesn't go well, or you're simply not interested anymore, or the person turns out to be something completely different, you're going to be able to be like, okay, well, this is not for me, so I think we're going to end this, or continue and see where it goes if you feel that that's appropriate. But too often we kind of want to give chances to situations and people when we already have felt throughout our body that that's not a situation we should go for. We should stop, or we stop before we can actually allow ourselves to see where that goes because we're afraid to be hurt. This is another topic that came through, and being guarded because you don't want to experience a situation maybe that you had with a previous partner. And again, for me, it's all about learning to understand, love yourself, and put yourself out there, knowing that you're able to make the right decision no matter what, because you trust yourself, because you trust your intuition, because you feel energies and emotions in your body and you're able to understand the clues. I always say you have a first impression of a person that tells you something. Listen to that, because your body already knows, your soul already knows. Maybe that person is there to teach you something, or maybe you just have to leave that person. But it's about doing things that help you to understand yourself, help you to trust yourself, because this is the crucial part of everything. And it's not just about love, but to me, it's just the core of everything. Learning to know yourself, heal yourself, understand your subconscious, because your subconscious is that part of yourself that you might not even know what it's doing, and then you get triggered because something is stored in there from your past experiences, and all of a sudden you're just responding in a way that if you knew you had that trigger, you wouldn't, because you would be able to heal. So the best thing for you to do, if you feel that relationships are complicated, or romantic relationships are complicated, or family relationships are complicated, let's face it, whatever relationship you feel it might be complicated, the first thing that I always say is that, and then it's one of the things that I was told at the very beginning of my spiritual journey: there is nothing you can do to help people heal if they don't want to do it. What you can do is to help yourself and to heal yourself and to work on yourself, because what is that going to do is to help you understand more about you, more about triggers, more about why you respond in a certain way, why you're bothered by a certain situation. How can you respond maybe to a negative feeling like a betrayal? Why is this happening to me? I hear a lot of people, why is this happening to me all the times? So when you learn to understand all of this about yourself, then you can start the healing process, which is just understanding where are those energy coming from, and then slowly releasing them through a process of healing and some inner work. And we look at your inner child. That's always the first part to look at. When you get to that point that you're able to see things that maybe you've never seen before. You're able to understand that much of yourself. Then basically you free yourself, because when you understand that so much of you, then you're able to see all of the behaviors that you have repeated throughout your experiences with relationship. Might be you always experience something with a person, or every time you meet someone new, and you always experience certain situations. And when you learn to understand why and where they come from, then you can release that. You can release that energy. You can release that stored emotion. Emotions are stored in our body, and they get reactivated every time something similar happens to us. And so when this happens, our body just goes through again what we went through maybe years back. And until we're able to see that and release it, we're not healed. And so in order for us to free ourselves from a lot of pain that maybe can come from our childhood, maybe can come from our past experiences, can come from ancestral line. There are so many past lives, maybe. There are so many places where certain situations or certain energies and emotions can come from. When you're able to see that, then you're able to free yourself. And your life is going to change, because at that point, you're going to also realize how much love you can give to yourself. What a beautiful person you are, and that you don't need someone else to give you that emotion that you're looking for. If you're looking for love, if you're looking for compassion, if you're looking for support, whatever that could be, it's something that you can first give to yourself. And when you do that, then at that point, everybody will see how shiny you are, how happy you are. And then at that point, you will attract someone that has your values, that has your energy, and that has that thing that you always wanted. But it doesn't matter anymore, because you have learned to give it to yourself. So that person is just going to match your vibrations. So how do you heal and do you free yourself? There is inner work that you can do. But what I can tell you is that there are three colors that are extremely powerful in terms of love, self-love, relationship. One is the color that I'm wearing, which is pink. Pink can have a lot of shades. I'm wearing baby pink, but magenta is also probably a stronger energy. Pink is just, baby pink is a bit like a lighter energy, more kind of like loving yourself. So pink and magenta are colors that are related to love of life, love of the universe, love of all things. And green is the color of unconditional love. And so it's the color that can help you with self-love, can help you to with forgiveness, can help you with loving others. Now, oftentimes forgiveness is necessary in order to release a lot of negative attachments and negative emotions that might be attached to a person, especially an ex-partner or someone from the family that we thought was supposed to be behaving in a certain way and didn't. But here is the thing. Again, everything starts from you. And yes, we expect our parents to behave in a certain way. We expect our friends to behave in a certain way. And we expect anyone else to behave in a certain way, because when you love, you're supposed to. But again, the thing is, whenever situations like this happen, my question for you is, where is that love lacking within yourself? And I want you to really sit with this, because this is really, really important. If you think that your mother should be giving you some certain kind of unconditional love, where are you not giving that to you? If you think your partner should be giving you attention, where are you not giving attention to yourself? If you think your friend should be picking up the phone every time you call, where are you not picking up your phone? Where are you not listening to yourself, right? So really think about what is it that is lacking within you when you're actually thinking about what someone else should be giving to you. This is really, really important, because everything starts from you. And the moment you learn to love yourself, it really changes your life. Now, I know this can sound extremely difficult and complicated. It's been a long journey for me, but I got to that point, and this is why I keep on sharing this, because it's so, so crucial. Your energy is going to change. You're going to change in so many ways that when you will also learn to trust yourself so much, there is nothing that you can do. There is no mistake in the actions that you take, in the decisions that you make. There is only something that comes from within you that says, yes, no, okay, go ahead, stop. And that's it. And you will release a lot of feeling of maybe guilt or shame around being your own self and shining bright. So if you want to use pink and green to help you with this energy, there are so many things you can do. Well, you can definitely eat green, but what I want you to do is to be very intentional. So call in the energy or the emotion that you feel you need the most, and then think about which of the two colors you feel are more aligned to that energy. And if you don't know it because you know nothing about color therapy, that's even better, because you can use your intuition. And everything that you need to do is just close your eyes, ask yourself, how can I bring, I don't know, for example, more love to myself, or more compassion to myself, or more strength to myself, more worthiness, whatever that could be. And then close your eyes and imagine a color, and then use that. And if the color that comes in your mind, it's not green or it's not pink, that's okay. Maybe you need something else in order for you to get to that point, and that's fine, because we are so interconnected. So there is so much that we need to release and we need to call in. All right, so before I wrap up, I'd like to pull some cards for you. On Monday, there was a full moon in Cancer, which was really, really important. And it's going to help us shift a lot of energy in our relationship. And Cancer is the sign of love, self-love, relationships, home, harmony. It's my sun sign. So let's just see, what do my audience need to know about this energy? Let's see what comes out. I am pulling out from the Queen of Moon Oracle, and I just got 2 cards, and I'm going to read them for you. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so we have the Hunter Moon, Abundance. And if you're watching from YouTube, you can see this. And the Waxing Crescent, Growth. There you go. This is amazing. And I feel it's very much connected to what I was saying today about, once you learn to work on yourself and do inner work and inner child healing and any kind of healing, in order for you to release all those emotions and energies and fears we no longer need in our lives, there is only growth. And that's when the abundance starts to come in. That's when the money that you wanted start to come in, the job that you wanted, the person, the kind of love that you wanted, the kind of connection that you wanted in your life. All right, let me just pull another card just to see, how can you bring more love into your life? What can you do to bring more love into your life, into your own personal life? How can you bring more love to yourself? How can you give more love to yourself? Let's see what the moon says. All right. Hunger, and we have the wolf moon, which was exactly the one we just had, which is be hungry for you. Just be hungry, like Steve Jobs used to say, be hungry for life. Go and make your dreams come true. Don't think that someone else will give you what you want. Go get what you want. And I think it's very much makes a lot of sense with everything I've been saying so far. If you want something and you feel like you cannot get it because there's always something coming in between, then it's because there is some healing to do. And once you commit to yourself, then you just grow, and you can just attract more abundance. All right. I think this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. If you want to work with me, I do color readings, I do healing sessions, and I do card readings. All you have to do is go to my website, theintuitionqueen.com, and you can find all my offers. You can find my story, what I'm about. You can find all the other podcast episodes, and you can go and listen to all the other guests and other stories. And you can also find me on Instagram as the Intuition Queen. If you want to work with me, just reach out. I'll be very happy to help you, and you can have a consultation. It's free, and we can just have a chat and see what's going on with you, how I can help you, and if your topic is love, I'd love to help you right now. So thank you so much for watching and listening.
Your heart is full and wanting more. Your future's at the door.